All right, I'm going to call to this meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. Okay, roll call. In attendance, we have myself, Josh, RJ, Elizabeth, Lance, and Veronica. Excused, Missy, Aedan, Donny, okay. Let's see, CJ, but he was just at our last meeting. Okay, has anyone had a chance? I just sent it out today, so I doubt if you didn't have a chance, I understand. I can throw it up, the meeting minutes from last month. Let me find it here. I'll pull it up so you guys have a chance to look at it. I apologize for being so late. I have been running crazy lately. Screen share. Okay, so these are the meetings from last month. It was kind of a quick meeting because I was on vacation, or 2 months ago rather. I was on vacation, so so there is, you guys get a second to look it over. One thing that we can edit is, I do know for the event planning committee, it was Victoria that had stepped back. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone need any more time to review these minutes?
Nope.
No. Okay. Let's toss the share. And do we have, let me minimize this page. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
Yeah, Dawn is here. It's cool. Let me change that. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
I can second.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I can't hear you all, so let me, hold on 1 second. I don't know why I'm having issues today. Let me switch. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Can I have somebody, someone make a motion to approve the minutes? I can hear now. I don't know why the speakers weren't working.
I'll motion.
Okay. Can I have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, anyone opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. So now we're going to go into our committee reports. Elizabeth, do you have a report for marketing and social media?
I guess just it kind of ties in with content creation. So we're noticing that we're gaining more traction kind of on our Instagram now, and our reels are doing well. And we're going to start kind of changing gears, maybe just a little, and focusing more on splitting our due diligence of both history and art, and what we can kind of tie in as far as like the various cultural information regarding like the holiday season, and just kind of tapping into that. And then our Facebook group is not doing too hot, but we're going to try to maybe just over time work to getting more of our committees and us as individuals at the events that we're interested in. So Brian's going to create kind of a running document of all of the events coming up, and then we just need to do our due diligence of saying, yep, I'm going to go to that and take photos. So I guess that kind of covers content and
That's
social
fine.
media.
We can just roll them into one.
Yeah, and then kind of more on content. Art talks still happening, and then yeah, I kind of think that covers everything on both of those ends right now. Nothing too new or exciting, I guess. Just kind of the same old, and just trying to grow our platforms in any way that we can.
Awesome. All right. So strategic planning and budgeting, we haven't had a chance to meet. When we get down into new business, I want to like make some changes to that committee. So we'll talk about that when we get down there. Okay. Sponsorship and sponsor engagement. CJ, is he here? No, we have no CJ. Josh, do you have anything you want to say on sponsorship? If not, I can make a quick report.
Just that I think we had a good trial run trying to get the bags going for the gift bags. We kind of little trial and error to see what kind of worked, what didn't, and I guess I was the only advertiser that participated, but we did get one response, and it was a nice detailed someone that is interested in getting prints made. I'm sure there's going to be more people that also order without saying anything, so it's definitely a good way. Out of 30, I would say we definitely got one person that contacted us, referenced it. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 or 3 more people ordered without saying anything. So out of 30 bags, having 1 to 3 people use us, and we're not like a company that people use on a day-to-day basis. We're pretty niche. So I think that, you know, anyone that our clientele might market, or anyone that might market to our clientele rather, really has a great chance of having a perceptive audience, and especially having the gift bag makes it very appealing for the customer to actually like check it out and try to gain an understanding of what's all in there, or why is it in there, and so I think it's definitely worthwhile. So but we're going to kind of convert that into a brochure where we have something that we're able to pass out to people that might be interested in advertising for the advertising and marketing board, and then that will have something just real vague about the next event and what the gift bags might entail, just to kind of prompt people to ask us about the next event and how they could be a part of it, as well as sponsoring the site itself and the advertising we're sponsoring there. So I think people definitely have marketing dollars that they have to get rid of. And if we could prove ourselves to be a good resource to spend those dollars, then we can definitely get in and get some good donations.
Awesome. That's another thing is, luckily, you know, with having the party and getting that started, we do have a brochure that we can kind of work off of in terms of when we make our next one. So.
100%.
I would say too, in our event meeting and kind of our content creation meeting, even, we did talk about the fact that as far as just like sponsorship and grants and whatnot, we are gonna look into like Giving Tuesday as a plausible option upcoming, and then just kind of looking to see what's out there that we can kind of slide into, and then maybe curating some of our events more as a fundraiser for PGH museums. I think that kind of ties into all of that as well.
Definitely. One of our big opportunities is getting sustaining supporters. I was hoping that with this event we would get more. We only got one person who converted from going to the event to becoming a sustaining supporter, but I'm going to send everybody who went to the event an email this week with like a reminder to sign up. So hopefully that will help. Cool. Community outreach and event planning. So with that one, we have made a lot of progress. We have decided an event for February that we're gonna try to put together for March. Those are concrete events, and we have some ideas, one for the summer and one for October. And then we have I don't want to say a larger event, but a more involved event that we have in the works for February, which will deal with commissioning art pieces and putting it in a historic building, potentially Dollar Bank downtown. So we've made a lot of progress with that. And we decided to hold off. We'd originally talked about doing an event around Christmas time. I think focusing on the Giving Tuesday is a better option for us. And we decided to hold off until February, just because so many of us are going to be so busy during the holiday season that it's going to be too difficult to try to organize an event and be effective at it. So that was a decision we made there. So I know with website and technology, we have no report right now. Do we have a motion to approve the committee reports?
I'll
I'll
motion.
motion. I'll second.
We'll go with RJ made the motion. He hasn't made a motion yet. Well, he did, but I think somebody else beat you to it. And then we'll put Elizabeth as a second, just to get everybody on the board. Any opposition? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Old business, website enhancements. One of the big things that we need is we still need board bios from a few people. I can find out who they are. Whoops, get that in wrong. For our board bios, we need RJ. RJ has no bio. Aedan has no bio. Lance has no bio. And Victoria. So those are the people that we do not have bios from. So when people go to our website and they're looking at their board, you all can be embarrassed because everybody else has a beautiful bio next to their name and you have none. So if you want to send me a bio, then we can get that on the website for you. So that way everybody can see how awesome you are. So the next one is volunteer management. Veronica sent me a link for finding volunteers. So I'm going to look into that. I know, like, one of the biggest challenges, people will be interested, but then it's like they don't want to like find time to meet with me, and it's I can't. There's no way I can have people updating the website if they don't know how. So, and it's one of those things I've tried to do that in a video call, and it just people just don't get it. If I try to explain how to do it in on the video call, a lot of people just struggle. So I'm trying to like meet with people in person. So we'll see. I'm gonna put it on that website. I have that opened on my browser. So yeah, so I'll look into that. New business, grant applications. So over the next couple months, I want to really focus on looking into grants. It's just something I haven't had time to do. So we could try to find, we're going to look into finding an intern, either unpaid or paid. If we're able to get a grant, that might be a way where we can pay an intern. If not, we're going to look into finding one another way. I was going to ask Professor Buzzkill, who runs a podcast, but he's also a history professor, to see, I don't know where he teaches, but might be Point Park, because I know he's done some stuff with them as far as a guest, but I'm going to see if he has any idea of a student who might be interested in an internship. And also we do need to, obviously we need to look into grants for our operating costs, but also we also are having an event next February where we are talking about commissioning artists. So we would have to try to, if we can find a grant to pay for that. And I might talk with, now that I mentioned it, it's just popped into my head, I'll talk to Anna Deering, who is the president, or not, the executive director for the Society for the Preservation of the Millville Murals of Maxo Bonca, because they just did a big thing that was kind of similar, where they commissioned a bunch of artists to make new works inspired by the murals painted by Bonca. So I could see who she worked with and see if they like our idea, and they might be someone who, since they already have done something similar, they might be willing to work with us. So that's one thing. So we had talked before, the next point for new business, about a committee chair meeting. And I had mentioned in the strategic planning meeting that I would be, let me save this link here real quick before okay, cool. We had talked about having that meeting, and with the strategic planning committee, I mean, the budgeting part is obviously important, but the coming up with goals is hard to do without the committee chairs present and coming up with like long-term goals. So I was thinking that we could roll those two meetings into one and do them on the opposite Thursday of our board meetings. So I was thinking, we have our board meetings the first Thursday. We can do, maybe since some of us are meeting on the second Thursday for the event planning meeting, maybe we could either do that after that, or we can do it another Thursday. But what do you guys think of the idea of like getting that thing rolling and then just rolling the strategic planning committee into that, just because I think it would make more sense?
I think that makes sense. It saves time in the long run.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll send you guys out a invite with just different Thursdays. And then we can select which Thursday we want, unless everybody is okay with doing it after the event planning meeting.
That works for me.
Okay. Just for the notes here. Would someone make a motion to merge those two ideas and make that on the second Thursday?
I'll
Motion to merge.
So I'll do, I heard Veronica and Josh, so I'll do, Veronica made the motion and Josh seconded. Anyone opposed? Hearing none.
Sorry to backtrack to grants, Brian, but another resource, it's a paid membership, but I think they offer discounts through TechSoup pretty often, is Grant Station.
You had mentioned that, yeah, Grant Station.
That one, like, you can specify if it's arts, culture, history, whatever. There's so many like specifications that you can put in, and it's really helpful. The link that I just sent you for is like organizations that support businesses within Southwestern PA.
Okay, great. Yeah, I opened that in my browser just so that way when this meeting's closed, I don't lose it.
And I think they all accept the common grant application, which is on that website as well.
Okay. Cool. Oh, and then just to clarify from the other meeting, because I know there was what I said was confusing. We had talked about in the other meeting about that I need to meet with Lance about getting our tax exempt. That was for sales tax in Pennsylvania. So that way when we purchase something, we don't have to pay sales tax. We've had the 501c3, so we're fine with that. We've had that for several years, and we're registered as a charitable organization to receive donations with the state. It's just the state is so frustrating. You have to, when you're a nonprofit, you have to register as a corporation, as a charity, and then you have to fill out another paper form for to not pay sales taxes. So it's like you have to do all of that. It's kind of confusing. So that's the one that we need to do. That way, when we sign up for, I think they need that for to sign up for Slack. So it was the same thing for Zoom. That's why I just paid for Zoom this year, because we didn't have that. And I need to meet up with you, Lance, to get that accomplished, just because it's kind of over my head. So.
Yeah, and then once you do even things like printing, you could fill out the blanket tax exemption form, and then any you do from then on won't have sales tax on our invoices. So anyone that you're ordering anything from, you should be able to fill out that form and not pay sales tax if it's for business purposes. Like
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of, yeah, that's what we want to do. So I just have to get that done. It's just the form itself is way more complicated than the other form for the PA charity. So I just want to get Lance to help me with it to make sure that everything's done right. Yeah, that was our issue with Dollar Bank too, is we were signed up as for PA charities, and we were signed up with the IRS, but I didn't realize we also had to separately sign up as a corporation. And they had told me before, but like they didn't tell me, like they weren't very clear on it, and I had sent them our PA charities thing, and I had thought that was it, and then they never got back to me for over a year, and then they were just like, we're closing your account, we don't have this, with less than a week's notice. So that was the whole reason why we were in this weird situation. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to go with a different branch, because I don't have confidence in, they don't communicate with us. So at the Dormont branch. And then I had a back and forth with the manager. They were like, well, COVID, we had people in and out. And then I was like, well, we're all expected to be accommodating to Dollar Bank, but why isn't this branch accommodating to its customers? So I'm just not thrilled with them. Okay, so the other piece for new business was I wanted to see how you all feel about kind of like setting a time to meet up and doing a website updating party. I could just like order some pizza, whoever's able to come, just come and update the website, because right now our calendar is pretty sparse. We're just between the emails that we haven't gotten and things like that, it's like the next 2 months it looks very sparse on our calendar. And what I'd like to do is see if we can get some people together on an evening, and I could just show you all how to update the website, and we can just go to some of like the bigger museums websites and just like copy and paste their event calendar into ours. It's just a little time intensive. That's why it's hard for one person to just be able to do it, because one person can work all day on it and they're only going to get done with one museum. So that was a thought that I had. It would give a chance for a bunch of us to finally meet in person and get to know one another, and it would also be an opportunity to like really just get the website updated. Anyone have any thoughts on that? I know not all of you are going to be able to do it, but I just think if anybody who is able to do it, it would be a fun thing, and it would be productive and help us get our kind of like the core part of our organization kind of like back up into good standing. And it also would be proactive too, because usually by the beginning of the year, our event calendar is really barren, because I start working a lot more overtime, and I'm pretty much the one that updates all the website. And I don't want, especially now with that we've got some steam behind us, I don't want to get into a situation where people come to the website and they're like, well, why am I using this as an event calendar when there's nothing there? So I just kind of want to be proactive. If we can get it updated through the beginning of the year, we can avoid that that situation. So.
I Mondays and Tuesdays are good for me usually, and then it would be every other week. So it would just depend on what if anyone gives some dates for Mondays and Tuesdays, I'd be able to pick. Could work.
Those are the best dates for me, actually. So that's great for me.
I can typically do Tuesdays, Mondays, at least for now. I have classes.
Okay. Cool. So why don't I'll put out a invite with every Tuesday, and I will see. I'll put that out there, and we can all vote on the best Tuesday on our schedule for whoever is able to come, and we'll meet up. We can, if we want, we can meet up at my place. I'm more than happy to have you all here. We can also, I'll put my place as an option, and if somebody has another idea of a location, you can add a location whenever you're voting as well. So cool. I guess just for good of the order, I'll just say, you know, on my end, I'll say the party was a big success. We lost a little bit of money, but I'm okay. I mean, my main thing with the event was getting awareness, and we got so much engagement from our social media posts leading into the event. There was a lot of interest, and one thing I will say is the vast majority of the people who came to the event were people I did not know, which is, I always gauge that as a barometer of success at an event, because if it's all people you know, I mean, that's great that people come out to support you, but you're not reaching new people. So the fact that we had so many people that I didn't know, that was really encouraging. And also, we were on a limited time to market the event with the setback of me trying to book artists. I didn't get to market the event as early as I was hoping to. And despite that, we had over 30 people at the event, which my goal was to get. We had, I think, 35 or 36 people. My goal was to get over 30 people. So we achieved that. And that was great because like, not only did we reach people, a lot of people too we reached who were engaged and interested, they weren't able to show up, but also because it was a big event, it made us look, you know, good to people, which is important. We had one of our affiliates came out, so it's, you know, they were impressed with how many people were there and things like that. So so that was great. So that's awesome, and I think, like, we're in a position to, you know, to build on that success and build on that energy and enthusiasm. And I think that's, you know, obviously, if we were able to raise money for our events, that's a great thing. But I think using these events to raise awareness of what we do and get people engaging with the website and stuff like that is kind of like a major part of the reason we do events. So I would say that the event was a big success in the enthusiasm it generated and just getting new people there to see the thing. And everybody, there's all positive reactions. People loved it. One of the things I kept hearing from people was how great the vibe was, which was good, because that's always you know, something I try to strive for with a party type of an event. So I was really happy with it. So that's my things. Anybody else have anything they want to say as far as just like the good of the order for the organization? Okay. So does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Someone want to second that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Anyone opposed to adjourning? No. Okay. So we adjourned at 7:33 p.m. Our next meeting is going to be on January 5th at 7 p.m. So hopefully that gives everyone a chance to sober up after New Year's celebration, and then we'll be back at it here. Thank you all so much.